Konnichiwa minasan! Hello everyone, this is Blackbear7, otherwise known around here as Shadow. Welcome back to Mario & Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Today is July 29, 2012, the third day of the games of the 30th Olympiad. Continuing from yesterday, once again, 2 Olympic events make up today's schedule, and the first event of the day is shooting, or to be more specific, 25-meter rapid-fire pistol. This obviously is one of the new events in the game, replacing Skeet as the shooting event from the first Mario & Sonic at the Olympic Games. And as appropriate to this event, I'll be playing as Shadow once again. Like with any other shooting game for Nintendo Wii, the controls are commonsensical. Use the Wii remote to point TV screen to aim and B to shoot. The objective obviously is to shoot 5 targets, hitting close to the bullseye as possible to earn the most points in a very short period of time for 6 rounds. All that explained, let's go to the events. All shooting events in this Olympiad take place at the Royal Artillery Barracks in southeast London. Vector, Metal Sonic, and Knuckles currently take the top 3 positions as Shadow prepares for his turn in the first round of shooting. Let's go to him now to get the action underway. Once again, this is the first round of 6.
Shadow! 究極の力見せてやる。
So this is almost all that I explained earlier. I forgot to note that before the action begins, you have to shoot at the circular area marked by the B button. You can call that preparation, but actually it affects your viewing distance. Therefore, if you shoot all targets during that preparation phase, you'll be finding yourself shooting from a far viewing distance. Also, the yellow targets have doubled points. The center target's bullseye is worth 10, so the yellow target's bullseye is worth 20. And that finishes the inaugural simple set of targets. Hitting all the bullseyes, Shadow gets a perfect score of 60 plus a 4 combo for the bullseye streak, each combo worth 5 extra points, netting him an extra 20 points for the current total of 80. Shadow takes 7.79 seconds to clear the first round perfectly, and that instantly earns him a top spot currently in the event. Racing against a CPU set to the hardest difficulty, the time to complete each round doesn't really matter as long as you are very accurate. So let's proceed to the second round as we get ready for a second set of targets. As I was saying earlier, in reality, the fastest and the most accurate wins these kinds of sports, and that's how the CPU, though still easy to win against, is roughly set to do. Anyway, the targets in this round vary in size and are now organized in an X-shaped layout, and it seems that I was short of the middle target's bullseye. The results show that yes, I did not hit the bullseye for a second target I shot, which was the middle target. That doesn't matter though, as Shadow earned 69 points from that round, bringing his current total to 149. That very likely still keeps him at the top spot. Looking at the current standings once again, Vector still retains second place with 90 points, Metal Sonic tries to sneak behind Vector with 87 points, Knuckles is still stuck at 4th, and the bottom 4 try to outperform each other. Let's continue the event as we get ready for what the third round has to offer. Round 3, here we go. How come I'm not doing great? Oh well, it's the first time I start a round with anything less than perfect. My viewing distance is set a little far, but let's see how this will go. As you can tell by the numbers on each target, in this round you must hit the targets in numerical order or the shot will not count. And I didn't have time to straighten myself for the last target. It's a good round nevertheless, with bullseyes on the first 4 targets. Shadow remains on the top of standings as he now has 220 points as we finish the first half of the event. Everyone else still retains the same positions after the third round, but Metal Sonic still seems to have a chance to outperform Vector even though they're now 4 points apart. Let's start the final half of this event and be prepared for the next round's set of targets. Once again, this is round 4, and how come I got only great again? I guess the game wants to challenge me a little further, and there goes the gimmick. All the targets are shrunk to half size, but this is not problematic if you know where to aim. I was a little off on the bullseye on the second target. Yes, I only got 9 points on the second target. The rest are all bullseyes. So far, so good. The fourth round finished at 7.09 seconds, brings the ultimate life form up by 69 points, making his current total at 289. 2 rounds remain in this 25-meter rapid-fire pistol as the gap between Vector and Metal Sonic finally widens, and I predict that the rest of the standings will continue to be as it is. Let's go back to Shadow now as the 5th round begins. So now starts the penultimate round, and it finally got perfect. Perhaps I only got great in the previous 2 rounds because it didn't line my crosshair perfectly. Who knows? Anyway, returning to round 5, we have our first set of moving targets that spin to make us miss, and I made my last shot just in time. And just when I thought I shot slightly off the bullseye on the middle target, I actually perfected this round. That earned Shadow another 80 points. Those 80 points bring Shadow's total to 369 points. Very likely I will break my current record of 400 points at the end of this event. Looking at the standings again after round 5, it seems everyone's current rankings are already given. Mario and Wario are tied but slightly different in their total completion times. We already know who won gold and perhaps silver and bronze, but let's go to the final round and finish this event. This is it, final round. We had spinning targets last time, so what do you think we'll see this time? Well, we have targets aligned with each other side to side, moving up and down in unison. This can be tricky as my shots end up away from the bullseyes, and also the strict time limit is pressing me to shoot right away. That didn't go well as expected, but it doesn't matter. I'm 49 points, so that undoubtedly will set a new record. 49 points from the last round brings Shadow's final total to 418 points, breaking the previous record of 400. So here are the final standings, which were already determined in the beginning of this competition. Vector and Metal Sonic will join Shadow at the winner's podium, so let's go to them now.
Bronze medal, Metal Sonic. Silver medal, Vector.
この程度で許してやるか。
Gold medal, Shadow. ひれ伏すがいい。
And that finally concludes the 25-minute rapid-fire pistol. Let's not forget that we still have one event to go, so let's proceed to that. The final event for today is track cycling, or to be more specific, team pursuit. This is obviously another one of the new events in the game. Since this is team pursuit, I'll be choosing 4 characters who will comprise the team. My character choice are Shadow, Vector, Blaze, and Silver. Some of you might recognize that this was also my team of choice in Mario Sonic at the Vancouver Olympics. So, in Team Pursuit, 2 teams starting on opposite sides of the oval track cycle simultaneously, competing for the fastest time over 8 laps. You can use the Wii Remote solo held sideways or with the nunchuck, with accelerating done by shaking the Wii Remote up and down, or by doing a cycling motion with the nunchuck. Turning, of course, is done by tilting the Wii Remote, or the Wii Remote and the nunchuck left and right. The basics explained, let's go to the event. The remote held sideways is my preferred control layout. The London Velo Park in East London is the venue for all track cycling events. So the event is organized as a 4-team tournament bracket. We have Team Shadow and Team Knuckles competing for the first spot in the finals, and Team Amy and Team Waluigi competing for the other spot. Of course, the 2 losing teams will face each other for the bronze. Being a team race, you can adjust when each teammate will go and which team is to be controlled by the player or with the CPU. Everything perfect set, let's proceed to the race. Once again, Team Shadow faces Team Knuckles, comprised by Knuckles, Daisy, Bowser, and Bowser Jr. Let's head down to the Velodrome now to introduce the 2 teams.
Team Shadow. 究極の力見せてよ。Team Knuckles.
So this is how Team Pursuit works. The leading rider provides the team's pace. Of course, over time the leader will get tired and he or she will be substituted by the fellow rider behind him or her as he or she goes to the back of the pack to recover energy, and the process repeats. On the final lap, however, the riders behind the leader will immediately sprint to the finish. All that explained, let's get the race started. Like any other race event in the game, you can charge your character's acceleration pressing 1 or B if you are also using nunchuck on the rear mode. So as you can see, since Shadow is the current leader, he loses energy over time as indicated by the heart. The others don't because they're slipstreaming Shadow, easily keeping up with the pace and recovering energy. And with Shadow energy, that was the time to switch. To switch successfully and swiftly, you must correctly and quickly press the buttons that appear on each rider's heads. So the team still leads as lap 3 begins, and Vector switches for Blaze. And since I'm actually just controlling Shadow, and Shadow is currently not the leader, I must try to keep him drafting Blaze and Silver so that he could recover enough energy to be ready for his next turn to lead. With Blaze almost out of stamina, now it's perfect time to switch. With those buttons inputted correctly and quickly, Silver now leads the pack as the team maintains a good lead over their rival team in the 5th lap. Silver's now almost out of energy, so here goes another switch. Shadow returns to the front of the pack once again to lead the team. We still have a comfortable lead over Team Knuckles as the 6th lap begins, and I shake this Wii Remote like a madman. Shadow is now short of energy, and that means it's time to switch again. Vector takes the reins once more as the team approaches the final lap of the race, which Blaze, Silver, and Shadow will sprint their way to the finish. It's now the final lap, and Vector's almost out of energy, so here goes the final sprint. There goes Vector backing out the 3 to sprint, and here I am again, shaking the remote as fast as I can. And Shadow is out of energy, and we finally finished. So Shadow, Vector, Blaze, and Silver outrun Knuckles, Daisy, Bowser, and Bowser Jr. with the final time of 1:18.048, earning them a spot in the final round. So here are the final results of the race once more. Team Knuckles finished approximately 3 seconds later with the final time of 1:21.28. So let's proceed and see which Team Shadow will face in the finals. Team Amy defeats Team Waluigi in the race, so that makes them Team Shadow's team to beat for the gold. Team Knuckles and Team Waluigi, on the other hand, will race for the bronze. So my settings remain the same as before, so let's immediately proceed to the event. Team Shadow versus Team Amy. Who will win the gold? Let's introduce our 2 teams at the velodrome.
Team Shadow 究極の力見せてよ Team Amy
任せてよ
And I'm almost out of air here, as there's Team Amy on the opposite side of the track, and here's the team to focus for. So the race for the gold finally begins as Shadow quickly zips across the track with teammates Vector, Blaze, and Silver following closely behind. And it wasn't a matter of time for Shadow to tire out though, and here is the switch. The head honcho of Team Chaotix now leads the team as he, Blaze, Silver, and Shadow still have an easy lead over Amy, Peach, Dr. Eggman, and Luigi. Already exhausted, Vector prepares himself for the switch. Pyrokinetic and Soul Emerald Guardian Blaze now assumes the leading position as we head into the 4th lap and halfway through the race. Almost out of gas, Blaze gets ready to switch with second in lead and close friend Silver. There goes successfully performed switch as Silver now provides the pace for the team. It's now lap 5 as the team seemingly closes in on their rivals. However, Silver has no more energy to spare as another switch begins. Shadow returns again as the team's leading rider as he uses the speed that he's known for to keep the team in a comfortable lead. As lap 7 approaches, however, he initiates the switch out of stamina. The switch is done seemingly flawlessly as Vector takes lead for the team as the final lap approaches and his teammates get ready for the final sprint. The team has 1 lap to go as they wait for Vector's signal, and there goes Blaze, Silver, and Shadow making the final sprint to the finish. And they finally finish victorious, and I am out of air right now. So Shadow, Vector, Blaze, and Silver outspeed their rivals Amy, Peach, Dr. Emmett, and Luigi with the final time of 1:16.981, earning them the gold medal. So here are the final results. Team Amy finishes approximately 5 seconds after Team Shadow with the final time of 1:21.770. Final race finished. Let's go back to the velodrome and meet the champion team, Team Shadow.
Gold medal Team Shadow
ひれ伏すがいい
And that was a very tiring event as I'm almost out of air after all that rear remote shaking. And anyway, that concludes the final event of the day. Thank you all who watched this episode of Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Don't forget to update yourselves with actual 2012 Olympic Games in London via internet, TV, or any other form of mass media that broadcasts this worldwide event. Once again, this is Black Lord 7, otherwise known around here as Shadow. Until tomorrow, sayonara.